Red Bull are the largest energy drinks company in the world. Their owner has used his $19.5 billion fortune to invest in many different companies, promoting his brand worldwide. He, of course, owns the Red Bull Formula One racing team. He's invested in aerial racing and many other projects, but he's probably most famous for investing and changing the names of multiple teams around the world. Now, over in Las Vegas, the owner of the third largest energy drinks company in the world, Russ Weiner, he'd been thinking to himself, how can I not only surpass Monster as the second largest energy drinks company in the world, but I want to compete with Red Bull on the world stage. Now, Russ had done really well for himself. He had a fortune of $4.5 billion and lived in a beautiful Beverly Hills mansion. He was surrounded day in, day out by beautiful Rockstar women. He too had invested and tried to promote his brand, dipping his toes into motorsport and bike racing, but this wasn't enough for Russ. Russ wanted more, and Russ thought to himself, I need a sports team. I want a big sports team. I want to make the biggest sports team in the world. Now, Russ didn't know much about soccer, but he knew soccer was the biggest sport globally. He also knew the English Premier League was the richest and most famous league in the world. And through his research team, one team came to mind. A team with so much potential. A team that would suit the brand. A team that would suit the company's name. A team with great history. A team that with a lot of investment could rule not only England, not only Europe, but the world. And this team was, of course, Blackburn Rovers. Now, back in the 90s, Blackburn had been taken to the top of the English football pyramid by the great late Jack Walker. He'd invested large sums of money in building an amazing team. A team led by Alan Shearer that finally won him and the Blackburn fans a Premier League title. And Jack knew how to do it. You needed money and you needed a great manager. But after the dizzying heights of that Premier League win, things have gone downhill slowly but surely for Blackburn and its fans. A few years ago, the fans thought things were looking up when the club was bought by billionaires, the Venky brothers. But things soon turned sour when they realised the Venkys didn't care about the club and were never going to take them where they belonged. And the fans had just had enough. How so many of them longed for the days of the great late Jack Walker. And then came along Russ Weiner. He made a deal with the Venkys and he cleared all of Blackburn's debts. But what he was about to do next, in some hardcore Blackburn fans' eyes, was going to be really controversial. Ewood Park would be renamed Rockstar Park and the club would be renamed Blackburn Rockstar Rovers. Now, to push this deal through with the FA and the Premier League, some palms had to be greased with some money. But when you're worth $4.5 billion, you can get anything you want at the right price. Could Russ Weiner do what the Venkys didn't? Would he invest a large sum of money and take the club back to the very top? Most fans were sceptical. They'd been burnt before, but Russ had a vision. He wanted to take this club to the top. He wanted to promote his brand and put him on top of the world. And to do that, he wanted to not only win the Premier League again, but he wanted to bring a Champions League trophy to Blackburn. Hello, I'm Bood and welcome to Rockstar Rovers. As always, thanks for joining me. I really do appreciate it. While you're here, hopefully you'll smash the like button because that really does help me. Helps the episode and my channel. If you're brand new, thank you for checking this video out. Hopefully, by the end of it, you'll subscribe and maybe go and check out some of my other videos. Stick around for some of my new videos. Now, as the intro kind of told you, we've got a little one-off video here with something a bit different. Now, this video comes about really from speaking to a very good friend of mine who was considering doing a Red Bull series. It's a great idea, his specific idea, but I've seen it done a few times with different ways, where people do Football Manager series and they'll take over an English club and rebrand them with Red Bull. So like Red Bull have done in Germany, Austria, America and so on. And I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if one of Red Bull's rivals went head to head with Red Bull? I just imagined if their owner, who is a very rich man, what is he worth, $4.5 billion or something crazy, if he decided, I want a soccer team, football team, I'm going to go to England, I'm going to buy one, I'm going to make them the best in the world. and make my brand the best in the world. You know, it could actually happen now. If you're a Blackburn fan, I am very sorry for changing your team's name and all that good stuff. But I like Blackburn. I did think about Bristol Rovers. I wanted a Rovers. I thought about a few Rovers. But Blackburn in Championship, I thought it was a great club to go to. A former champion of England. Don't forget, they won the Premier League. And when I looked into them, the owners and all that, the owners are a bit crap. They've got a lot of debt. When you go in the editor and you look at the debt they're in, I think there's a £100 million gift loan there as well. So I thought, perfect. Let's take over Blackburn. Let's turn them into Blackburn Rockstar Rovers. And let's see what they can do with a crap ton of money. Some good staff. Can they become the best team in England? Or will it all crash and burn? So here we are with Blackburn Rockstar Rovers. Now we've got to imagine, it's a bit of fun, that the owner, Russ, who is worth $4.5 billion, he's come in and he's gone, right, this is a great idea of mine to promote my brand, but I haven't got a clue about soccer because I'm American and don't really know much about it, so I need to get all the best people in place. Similar to City, they went and got all top people to run the club. Well, that's what Russ has done. Now we're going to be starting here on the main page, and I just want to say the playing staff is the exact same squad you will get on the new updated winter database. It's the exact same squad. I've not pinched any players from anywhere. What we have done though is made a few changes. I put a bit of a coaching team together. Now, the directors have all come from big clubs. I think there's one from Barcelona, maybe one from Juventus, or maybe Inter Milan, I think. And one from Bayern Munich. So he's got directors from some of the biggest clubs in the world to help him run it. We've got one of the best directors of football on the game, a very good assistant manager, and a great coaching team. Some of the best on the game. Some of them are great, some of them are going to be great. Got some good youth coaches as well. And there's still a few spots, I think. You could expand the medical side, maybe the scouting team. If you do take over, want to have a go of Rockstar Rovers for a bit of fun. But you're going to start off with great staff, and that's what I want it to be. He's come in, he's employed the best, he wants to just kick on and kick ass straight away. Now, of course, we're based in Blackburn, and we're still at Ewood Park. Although he's done something quite controversial, most fans weren't too happy. He's renamed Ewood Park Rockstar Park. Put the brand everywhere. It's all about the brand, that's what he's doing. He's trying to sell more drinks, really, isn't he? Doesn't really care about the club, but he's going to pump in a shit ton of money, which is going to be fun. It's always a bit of fun to have a load of money on the game every now and again. So yeah, new stadium. It's going to get improved. It has been improved. He's filled in the corners very quickly, and he's got plans to expand it even more. Maybe even move somewhere new. We'll have to wait and see. State-of-the-art training facilities, because he's boosted. Not only boosted, he's rebuilt the training facilities, and that's called the Rockstar Campus. It's based on the Etihad Campus, the famous training ground of Man City. So you've got a kick-ass training campus, state-of-the-art youth facilities, but you will be able to improve your data if you want to. Totally up to you. But yeah, the club's now in a great place. Just needs a lot of players, really. What it doesn't need is history. Now, I do like Blackburn Rovers, even though I had a bad year the year they won the Premier League, because we lost the Premier League and we lost the FA Cup final to Everton in the same year. Although we did win enough back in the day, didn't we? I'm a Man United fan, by the way. But I do like Blackburn. They've got a great history, better than a lot of clubs. 3 top flight leagues, 6 FA Cups. They've got themselves a League Cup as well. You know what I mean? That's a trophy cabinet to be proud of. But I want to see is kind of investment, and we're talking major investment. Can it really kick this club on and take them to the very top? Sometimes it will, and you expect that it will, but don't always work out that way. Now, this is a squad. Like I said, I've added no one. I'm not giving them Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi. This is the winter update squad, the most up-to-date squad you'll get if you get the most up-to-date version of Football Manager. And they've got some pretty good players. When I looked through it, I thought, this squad's pretty decent. It'd be quite fun to play as Blackburn and try and get them out normally. But I'm imagining with the kind of finances we put in place here, some of these guys might stay, some are definitely going to go, and there's going to be some major investment and improvements in the squad. Now, as you can see, they are favourites by the bookies to go straight up, and that's not because of their playing staff. That's because of the club's reputation of up the rep to help them buy better players. Because if this really happened in real life and players were out there new, they'd be getting top wages on this new project to take Blackburn to the very top. There's quite a lot of players who wouldn't normally have signed for Blackburn would sign for Blackburn. But to let that happen within the computer and the simulation, you need to up the club's reputation. So at the minute they are favourites, although I don't know if they've got the players to actually do it. They'd be up there because they've got some good ones, but they're definitely going to need some investment if they want to win the league. They also need a manager, and at the time it's the only available job. So this is apparently up to date. Obviously I've got rid of the manager, all the staff went. He got rid of everyone, he wanted to clear the decks. Now at the minute Sam Allardyce's favourite, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. Big Sam might get the job, but it's up to you. If you want to have a go, it's there, ready for you to take over. Now the save file, when I've done this in the past, I get asked questions quite simple questions really. I just assume everyone knows how to do things, but if you do use a save file, my character will be on it because he's on it, not in any kind of job role. I'm on it to look at things, and people always ask me, they always say I don't want to play as you. I'm like, you don't have to, just retire me, go to add manager and create your own manager. Like I said though, I'm off end of this week and then I'm off for 12 days, so I'm going to get all my databases in order and I'm going to publish a couple on Steam. I'll put an advert out on my YouTube channel, a little post telling you when they're out there, so you can either wait for the database and maybe change it up a bit if you want, or you can get stuck straight in right now with a save file. Now I've just taken over Rockstar Rovers just so we can get stuck in and have a look at some of the things you can only look at if you're the manager, just so I can show you, maybe tempt you to have a go. This is one of them things, you know, where you can just have a bit of fun with it. Do you know what I mean? I might just be Rockstar Rovers for a couple of years. It's something different. You know, try and get to the very top. You can have the money to. It's good money. And obviously the mentality of the club has changed. They want high reputation players. He wants you to play attacking football. He wants entertaining football, and he wants you to develop players using the youth system. So he wants it all. He wants you to get big names in, you know, play some great football while getting some young players coming through that great academy you've got. And they want to get straight up there, don't they? End of this season, promotion. So if you don't get promotion that first year, the way I've made it, you won't last long. You might not even last a season if you don't go straight to the top. So the reason why I've taken over is because what show you the finances. So what I've done is, obviously the guy's worth $4.5 billion, so he's really going to invest in this team. This first year anyway, eventually with anything like this, give it 2 or 3 years and they will withdraw their funding. They'll put money in, but they won't pump in the money they have been pumping in. So you want to try and get quite a lot of success early if you can, if you're up for it. You're going to start with 500 million. In the bank is give you a transfer budget, 500 million, go spend it. You've got 5 million to play with in the wage budget, so you can go out there and get the best available. Don't know what they'll be available, but I bet there'll be some pretty cool players. Well, this showed you that this project has got around the world and people want to come. Decent players as well, especially James Rodriguez from Real Madrid. James Rodriguez. I always call him James, but it's James, isn't it? But yeah, what a player. Walcott, Cleverley, Saka. Young winger from Arsenal, trust me, he's class. Jack Wilshere. I mean, Matic from United. And to help you maintain every year, I've added much sponsorship. Now I did do it a different way. Sometimes you can build it in the editor, but then when it gets to the game, it breaks it down differently for you. I've never really completely understood it, but I imagine someone like this is going to want to brand up everything. So he's got a sponsor on the sleeve, sponsor on the back of the shirt, training kit sponsor, an individual TV deal with Netflix, who are doing a documentary following the story of this brand new superstar team and club. Obviously he's paying for the stadium to be called the Rockstar Stadium. Got the main sponsorship, which is his own on the front of the shirt as well. And then them 4 generals, I think that was that's commercial income, but it split it up for some reason and changed it completely. But it's still pretty good. I mean, you're going to be getting an insane amount of money. Good couple of, what, 200 million, 300 million a year? So even if he does withdraw his finances, you should still be able to maintain it once you build that initial squad and try and win yourself that Premier League or even a Champions League. That would be got to be the dream for a team like this. And like I said, all debts were cleared. They did have a lot. One of them was 400 million. So yeah, he's cleared all the debts, which is great. It's just FFP in it. If you go silly, I don't always know how that works. You used to be able to go silly back in the day on Football Manager, even Champ Manager. So you're going to have to watch the FFP. But you know what? I think you'll be alright. I reckon we jump forward 5 years, get stuck straight into it, and let's see if this money's really helped. Does having all the great staff and all that great money help? I mean, I guess it would eventually. But what kind of story is it going to take? Where are they going to go? What they're going to win? What kind of players do they eventually get? And if you ever do it yourself, I'd love to know your strategy, how you went about it, and did you do better than this computer simulation? Welcome to the year 2025. We've in fact gone forward 6 seasons. I just like the idea of 2025. Rounds it off nicely. As you can see, looks like they did get promoted. I don't know if they got promoted straight away though. And they've been at the top of the Premier League for a while, but they haven't won one. So they've just finished 6th. Ouch. 5th. 6th. So unless they won the Europa League, they wouldn't have been in the Champions League, would they? They won the league 2021. So that first year, that's definitely the first. Yeah, the first year they finished 3rd. Unlucky sucker, must have lost in the playoffs. So yeah, you've got Memphis Depay, Jude Bellingham, one of the best young English midfielders on the game. Julian Brandt, great winger, and a very, very good manager. They're still at the Rockstar Park, 50 capacity, so they haven't improved that much. But how well have they done? I thought they'd win something big. So if you go to the FA Cup, they've not won that. They've not even got to a final, which is massively disappointing. This is what I mean. It doesn't always matter. You can give a load of money out there. It doesn't mean you're going to be successful. That's why I'm hoping some of you try it. Because if you are, computer shit. Well, they did manage to get to a final, and it was a Carabao Cup final. Got beat off Chelsea 2 years ago. Chelsea City dominated it. Liverpool as well. They've been there and thereabout. Norwich got to Brighton and Norwich and Wolves, and I much preferred them to have won it. Just because it's cool, isn't it, when smaller teams win stuff. So they've got to the final of the Carabao Cup. There's got to have been some sackings, bet you. You've got Bruce Arena in, who must have got promoted. That's where they've definitely got promoted. There you go. He was there for well over a year. He retired. Interesting. And then they brought Allegri in, who's been here for 4 years. Now I've made this chairman. He's a decent bloke in a way, but he's a businessman. And he wants success. So he's got a great manager there. Don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic manager, but I'm surprised that he's given him this amount of time. And all he's done is win a Europa Cup. In fact, they've just won it. So he had 2 years, maybe his job was on the line, he got to a final, maybe they thought, you know what, give him one more season. And in his 4th season, he's gone and won the Europa Cup. So he will be in the Champions League, won't he? Next year, beating Tottenham in the final. That's pretty interesting. And they got to one, so he actually got to the hell. Nearly missed that. He did get to the final in his 2nd season as manager. And interestingly, in the Super Cup this summer, they're going to go head to head with a team that is just like them. A little small club, no offence, that got bought by a billionaire and he got invested the shit out of. He basically copied their model. Hopefully he hasn't failed his FFP. He gets kicked out of Europe, like City. Well, yeah, they've failed it this year. So they've not managed to fail it beforehand. Douglas Costa got appointed vice captain. They got Douglas Costa that first year. That's pretty cool. James Taverner as well from Rangers. The Pies, the captain and the captain. Jordan Henderson left Liverpool. Jude Bellingham, man, what a player. We'll have a look at him in a minute. Obviously just won the Euro Cup. And they failed the financial fair play. And like I said, after 6 years, the chairman, who's a rich guy, has gone, I'm scaling back the funding, but I'm pretty sure they'll still have a lot of money. Now, we can't go for everything in minute detail. It's been 6 seasons of transfers, but we can look at it generally. And that first year, somehow they managed to spend 525 million and not fail financial fair play. How? They brought in 21, but look who they bought. Saka, I mentioned him, good young winger. Costa, sorry, Longstaff, Mitrovic from Fulham, Bellingham, Wanyama, I mentioned him. James Rodriguez for 52 million. Shit, they just basically went out there, didn't it, and bought everybody. That's amazing. Before we do move on though, let's have a look at Jude, and I've had him on something else, one of my rebuilds. I thought he'd be better than this, especially playing at a club like this with the facilities they've got, because he's a great prospect. He's worth a lot of money. He's a good all-round player. He's just got nothing, no attributes 18 or above, no greens, as I say. But he's had a cracking career at Rockstar Rovers. Now Saka they bought for 88 million that first year, and he's a quality young winger. If you play him right, he can turn into an absolute beast. I had him on a rebuild, beast. I don't know if he's developed as well as he did for me. He's still a great winger though. But now he's at Monaco. So the next year they scaled down their spending, but I suppose they could, and they were able to obviously sell some players. Some of the guys they probably brought in didn't work, then they got rid of them. And they spent 18 million, got Depay, who I think is still there. First year in the Premier League with all the Premier League money as well as their own, and they would have been alright financially, I'm guessing. They managed to spend 157 million again on some great players, and a Herrera for 28 million. I wish we'd never sold him, I love that guy. The next year they bought Zaha and spent 191 million. I love it. I know sometimes you can get bored when you've got loads of money. I get bored being United and so on. I can't play with them forever, but sometimes it's just fun to have a bit of escapism, especially when the game's a bit old. Just do something a bit silly, a bit fun. And that's all I'm trying to give you here, something maybe you wouldn't even think of or couldn't make yourself, that you might just find great for a few years, or even longer. Last season they had another big spending season, spending 276 million. They didn't buy him, they got Luis Suarez, he must have got to be pretty old by then, on a free, signed a lot of other good players. And then going into this season where they won the Europa Cup, they've again spent a load of money, 251 million. So it is I put it in place basically. It's the kind of club that can compete now with Manchester United if you want, with City, with Paris Saint-Germain. And if you want, you could buy Galactico every summer, couldn't you? Maybe even 2. Or you could spread it out like the manager has here. But yeah, that is some mega spending. So that's why I find it mental that they haven't won a Premier League. So I really want one of you to have a go with this and try and win it. Because if they're spending that money, look at the players they bought, right? And they can't win the Premier League. I know you're competing with City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, all these big teams, Tottenham, Arsenal, and more that can spend. But so can you. And they're only predicted to be 5th this year. They've not even made themselves a regular top 4 team. So this is kind of what I was going on about at the beginning. You never know. I fully expect them to just completely dominate and have won 2 Champions League and 3 Premier Leagues by now, but it's not the case. So taking them over, and maybe this club needs to chill out on the spending. You can throw all the money you want at things. It doesn't always mean you're going to win. You need to be clever. I've won things on this game by being clever and buying the right kind of play for a tactic, or because of his mentals or whatever, not because he's a superstar. I just think when you give a club like this loads of money, the computer just seems to just go giddy and go stupid. So obviously, I expect you to do a better job than this. I mean, they're going to fail European Champions Cup, FFP, Premier League, FFP, and you can see the balance is only 77. They've only got 84 to spend. Obviously, that does get better. You do get more money. I'm guessing the sponsorship's still okay. That's all still there, so you're still getting a good chunk of money every year. Maybe it don't kick in yet till after July. I'm not sure. Have you got dates? Yeah, some of them's August. I've had some of them already, maybe. So yeah, it is what it is, but it's a bit of fun. Enjoy it. So there we go, that is the end of Rockstar Rovers. Hopefully you enjoyed it enough to smash the like button and maybe even try it out for yourself. It did just come from a conversation with a good friend of mine. I just thought, I'll put that together, stick it out, see if people have a bit of fun with it. It's just a bit of fun, but that's what Football Manager is, and I like to give people different things to try out sometimes when I've got the time to make it. But I do appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me right now and watch this. Honestly, I really do appreciate it. Make sure you do sub if you're new. Make sure you check out my Patreon as well if you want to support the channel a little bit more. You'll find a link to that down below, and make sure you keep your eye out for more videos. We've got a sort of a story / new database one coming out very soon, which hopefully you will enjoy. And also we've got my weekly Saturday night Journeyman with Road to Anywhere. So yeah, I hope you're happy, I hope you're safe and booed. I'll see you in the next video.